All right. What is up, Isaac? How are you, sir?
Happy 2024, Ryan.
Happy 2024. We have not done this in almost a month.
Yeah, we took December off. It was
Yeah, yeah.
holidays.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a nice little break.
Yeah.
But like riding a bicycle, we're gonna get on here and we're gonna bruise our knees. We're gonna fall off. We're gonna cry just a little bit.
I'm ready.
We'll be fine.
I'm always ready to cry, Ryan.
That's right. That's right. Especially on air. Nothing says you're a legitimate adult like crying on board game video show.
Yeah, that's what we do here.
The best. It's the best. Anyway, this is our best of 2023 episode. Isaac, you actually chose to do your top 10 list in a specific place. Where did you share your top 10 list?
Yeah, I did all of mine as individual videos for each game on TikTok, and then I've been moving them over to Instagram also. I'm thinking I might try and stitch them together into a YouTube video. The problem is it's going to be, vertical, but... Or I'll just throw them on his shorts on there. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
But mainly TikTok. It's gotten good traction, good conversation.
Nice. That's awesome. My top 10 list, I've actually been sick for the past 4 or 5 days. And so I'm finally getting over it. I still sound terrible at times. But I have not been able to record my top 10 because I've been so sick. And so that will come out later this week. Hopefully I'll have it out before we attend Dyson Diversions, which is coming up this weekend in Atlanta, DysonDiversions.com. If you are in the Atlanta area, you should show up. It's going to be a lot of fun. First
Exciting
con
stuff.
of the year. So, hey guys, Facebook user.
Awesome.
Whoever Facebook users, hey.
If you're on Facebook with us, hit what is it? I think you have to give permission to restream, and then we can see your name.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea which of our channels that's in.
Yeah. Don't. It's the paired channel, so and if it's actually coming from one of the groups, it won't give the name, unfortunately.
Well, I'll go monitor. I'll see who we got.
Yeah, you just throw it out there. That'll work.
So. While I'm doing that, what's our opening question, Ryan?
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to find it out as soon as I.
I got it. I'll throw it to you
because I had closed it like an idiot.
Ryan, how was your December in general? How was your December?
December was good. I felt like I was ducking and dodging colds. All 3 of our kids got sick during the month of December. It was like one domino falling after the other, but somehow Aaron and I escaped it unscathed until last week when I got sick. So, but everybody's good. We had a really good December. We played a lot of games. We played a lot of games with family. A lot of our party games got played. So we brought stuff out like Blob Party, which is a big hit at our Christmas party that we had. A couple of the other events brought out Green Team Wins, of course. It's just, the games just are easy to break out when you have family around like that. So
I love it. It's Bree. She's in our game of sidekicks.
Hey Bree, how are you?
Group there. Bree, awesome. I'm not sure how. I know it usually comes up, but what I would say is probably the easiest is pop over to One Board Families page and click on that live link.
Yeah, but we also like all of the interaction that we get on the Gaming with Sidekicks group, which is a fantastic group. If you don't belong to that group yet, Facebook, go over there.
I'm gonna join it. Yeah. Oh, I belong to it.
Yeah, you kind of created it.
December for us is big birthday month.
Okay.
Growing up, always my niece, she's 2 days before the start of the month, so she's 29th, and then my sister is the 2nd, my mom is the 3rd, my dad is the 20th, I'm the 31st. So
nice.
In our core family growing up, all 4 of us had the birthdays. My daughter's is actually tomorrow, so there's a lot just around this time of year, a lot of gift giving, a lot of presents, a lot of Christmas and birthday time, and then just being able to spend time with family. As my daughter's getting more in the thick of school in college, it's been nice since she's not home currently and she's in an apartment, that she's been able to hang out more with us, which has been a real nice break. Hey, there's Bree. There we go.
There's Bree. Hello. It's hard for me not to read that like Jerry Seinfeld. Hello.
Perfect.
Anyway, December was fun. So let's talk about New Year's. Isaac, what did you do for New Year's? It was your birthday, which
Yeah.
is big. How'd you celebrate?
Yeah, New Year's Eve, we always have a birthday slash New Year's Eve party.
Okay.
It's an excuse for me to invite everybody over.
Yeah.
And we've had 30, 40 people in this house before.
Nice.
We were actually leaving the next day on the first for vacation.
Okay.
So we kept it a little more chill. We had a couple families, played games, watched the ball drop, played some pretty casual games. A lot of party games, couple that are on our list. Blob Party, of course, had to come out.
Yeah.
And just kind of pretty low key, right? We watched the ball drop. We played a few more games after that.
Yeah.
And we actually, one of my gifts this year was an Apple TV to go with all of my
Okay. Yeah.
other Apple stuff, mainly because I love one of my, we'll talk about resolutions. One of the things I've been trying to do more is yoga, and they have a program
Okay.
on Apple Fitness. So that was the only way to like stream it to the TV. So
Nice.
long story short, the Apple TV box, you can put games from Apple Arcade up on the big screen.
Very cool.
And they have a music trivia game that's a ton of fun that we can play like up to 8 people at the same time.
Nice.
So a little bit of board games, a little bit of, electronic games,
Yeah.
and just everybody interacting.
That's
So
awesome.
how about
Yeah,
yourself?
our New Year's Eve was pretty chill. We had some friends of ours come out from Alabama and come hang out with us for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But then we did New Year's Day. We actually did our annual gaming drop in on New Year's Day. For the past couple of years, we've hosted a drop in where people just come and like hang out for the day from like
Awesome.
10 to 5. Anybody can just show up at our house, and we've got a table open for you. Grab a game, learn to play something new to start off the new year. And so we had 3 tables of board games going. We had some snacks in the kitchen. It was a lot of fun. It was really good. So we really enjoy that tradition of that drop in party on New Year's Day. I think it's gonna stay alive for a little while. So
You get a
it's
pretty good group in and out
yeah,
by the time it's done.
yeah, this time we really did. And actually, shout out to a lady named Amanda. She found our channel, watched us play a game, found out where we lived, contacted us during the Christmas season. And she's come over a couple times to play games with us.
Nice. She's
And
local to the
so,
area for you.
yeah, she's local to us, and it was really cool to just meet a person who's seen us on YouTube and decided to reach out. So it was really cool. That was a lot
That's
of fun.
that's
And
awesome.
she came that day, learned a couple new games, and learned some of my favorites that I'm going to share today. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. So I mentioned just a minute ago, yoga has kind of been on my list. I don't really set
yeah,
like formal resolutions, but things I'm trying to like, okay, now's a good reset time. What are you going to work on? And
yeah.
that's one of the things I've been kind of focused on. I got, kind of the general question of like, do you set resolutions? If so, what do you like to do? What do you got coming for 24?
Yeah. So in 24, I don't normally set resolutions, but the two things that I think I'm focusing on is that I want to read more. Every time that I've actually like sat down and made it a point to read more often, I've enjoyed it a lot. Like there was one year that I set out to read one book a month. It was probably 2016, 2017, and I loved it so much. Like I read so many interesting things that year.
That's awesome.
And I haven't done it since, but I want to. I just got an autobiography for Tom Petty for
Oh,
Christmas.
nice.
Tom Petty, I don't know why, but as I get older, Tom Petty is kind of like, I don't know. I connect with his music a lot. And as I've gotten older, I appreciate it a lot more. And so I'm reading that autobiography right now. And then I want to invite, this is a weird one. I want to invite people into normal everyday activities. I know that sounds weird, but like when you go to the grocery store and you're like, I have to run like an errand and it's going to take 30, 40 minutes. I'm going to just invite somebody to come along and see if we can just hang out for an hour. You know, it sounds like a weird thing, but it's kind of this understanding of like inviting people to your things instead of like trying to cram your schedule full of stuff. Like the stuff
So
that you're
just
doing.
anybody, family, friend,
Yeah,
somebody you want to
just be
spend a
like,
little
I
time with.
haven't seen so and so for a while. I'm gonna ask him, see if they want to run to the grocery store with me. You know, so
That's awesome. I
yeah.
love it.
Yep. So Bob said, I hate goals. There we go. So goals make me feel like a failure sometimes. So
That's okay. And
yeah,
I've never been one to set like really formal like, oh, I'm going to always do this in
yeah,
2024, because you mess something up and you fail, like, I can't do it,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
um and so for me, one of the things that I find myself saying a lot to people, and we've kind of been in a season of a lot of loss, some people that
yes,
we really love recently in our family and for some friends, and I find myself saying a lot of like, I'm going to pray for you, and
yeah,
then just not really carving out the time. So
yeah,
I've never really kept like an active like prayer journal, things like if somebody's, I can go back and check on and
yeah,
say,
yeah,
hey, how is mom, like,
yeah,
or how is your cousin that, remember, you mentioned to me, just to be more cognizant and aware of like what's going on with people
yeah,
around me. So
yeah.
that's kind of one of my, I'm doing it on my phone. I thought about like an actual physical book, but it feels like phones, like, I mean,
You'll always have it
it's
with you.
always in my
Yeah,
hand,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I can reference that easier. And
yeah,
just being kind of like you said, being present with people, right?
yeah,
That to me is like being more than just like, oh, I'll say something and then I'm like, oh crap,
yeah,
what
yeah.
was I supposed to think about for that
You
person and
forget
pray for
because
them?
you're so busy, everything
Yeah.
that's going on. Yeah. Bob said that he would go shopping with me if I buy him Doritos. And
Ooh,
so,
I
yeah,
mean,
so
I'll,
I'm
I'll,
shopping buddy.
I'll do
So,
Doritos.
Bree, you said it's nice to run errands with friends. It's so funny. I invited a couple years ago. I had chickens, and I wanted to go pick up a chicken. I was going to pick up a chicken right outside of the edge of town, and I had contacted this lady to pick up a chicken from her, and I hadn't seen a friend of mine for a while, so I just called him up. I was like, I've got to go run an errand. Do you want to run with me? He was like, yeah. So I picked him up on the way. He said, like, so what are we doing? We're going to pick up like a lawnmower part or something. I'm like, no, I'm going to buy a chicken from a lady on the edge of town.
Yeah, just a
And
chicken.
we had a cage in the back seat, and he's like, "Are you being serious?" I was like, "Yeah, that's what we're doing." So yeah, fun times. So
That's awesome.
so yeah.
So our next question is kind of a reflection, right, of
Mhm.
2023. What was your favorite gaming experience in 2023?
Favorite gaming experience.
Mhm.
Um, Bob said, "Was it in Phoenix City?" I bet it was. No, it was actually in Eupatoy, so the
Mm,
other way.
yeah, good old
So
Yupa toy.
Eupatoy. We have some weird names out here, man. So, I think one of my favorite memories was, and it happened early in 2023. Aaron got really, really sick when we went to Tantrum Con 2023. Aaron was really sick and she wasn't able to make the trip. Emily stayed, our oldest stayed back with her, and she had to work. But my two youngest, Josiah and Kendall, came with me. And one of
Mhm.
my favorite memories from last year was that we had signed up, our family had signed up to teach a dozen people how to play Unmatched for the first time. These people had no experience in Unmatched. They didn't, like, some of them had it, but they had never
Yeah.
learned it. They're like, I got this for Christmas last year and I don't know. And so I was like, okay. So I told the kids, I said, listen, I'm so sorry, but would you please help me with this? And Josiah and Kendall stepped up like beasts. They remembered everything that I told them. They spot checked people and like, do you need anything? Can I help you? Like, we just ran around that room helping people out, and my kids were like fantastic. I couldn't believe it. And it was fun. It was really, really fun.
It was fun
And
to watch. You guys had command of that space.
it was so good. But yeah, I think that's one of my favorite memories is like spending time with my two of my three kids, teaching something that I love and them stepping up to it. So
That's awesome. Is Phoenix City actually spelled like that?
yes,
PHE.
Phoenix City is literally spelled like it's spelled right here on the screen. Phoenix City. So
Interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
Bob Lorcana. There was actually on TikTok before I got on here, there was a handful of people, TikTokers talking that are like just starting to get into Lorcana. And I was like, oh man, they're like, oh, we need to get cards. I'm like, I need to point you to Bob because Bob's got binders on
Bob's
binders.
doing it. Yeah. Bob still has to teach me. So
Well, and for a lot of people, Lorcana is their first dip. Like we said, Lorcana, we summoned
Lorcana,
Sean.
Sean just pops out like a genie. So
We might have to do a Lorcana chat in here one of
oh man,
these
that would
shows.
be
But
awesome. That
but
would
what
be
I'm
really
what
good.
I'm experiencing, and it's really interesting to watch, is Lorcana is the first CCG for a lot of people.
Yes.
And so in this live TikTok chat with like seven other guys, seven other people in the board game community, they're talking about, they're like, the one's like, oh, Possicle, like it's a good one. And then the one girl goes, Sarah, she said, do you know that people will just play like one deck because they consider it's called like the meta, and like the meta is like the best, and like, and I'm just looking, I'm like, I jumped in, I'm like, have you guys not played a CCG
Yeah,
of any
that's
sort in your
interesting.
lives? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, go read the article about Timmy, Johnny, and Spike, and learn kind of what your play style is, and then lean into that.
Okay,
Because I'm a
that's cool.
Spike. Like, I don't know if
I
you know
don't
the
know that article.
difference.
I don't know that article
So
actually.
years and years, and there's been variations of
Yeah.
it, but the three, man, we're diverging, but we're in diverge. There's three kind of gross CCG players.
Okay.
Johnny is the creative. He wants to see these combos go ping ping ping, and he's like, he loves to see the combo he sets up happen. If he wins one time with the amazing combo he wanted to set up, he's a happy player. 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Timmy is the kid who just wants the big stompy stuff. He wants lots of big monsters. He just wants to like overrun the field. Timmy is happy if he wins half the time, but he's sad every time he loses, but he's just happy if he gets all the
Yeah.
big stuff out. Spike is your quintessential CCG player. He is, if he wins 99 out of 100 games, he had a bad day. He doesn't lose. He plays one thing and he plays it into the ground until he knows every move of everything. And when I get into CCG, I'm either like all in or not in.
Oh, I'm Johnny 100%. I want something cool to happen, and if I win 1 out of 5 games, I'm happy.
I'm
So,
that Spike player. Like I want to see,
interesting.
I want to know my deck forward, backwards, and sideways, and know every move and every. But when we played Dice Masters, that's the kind of player I
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Like I would stay up so late at night just running reps on my deck until I knew
That's
every
interesting. Yeah.
possible die roll that could happen.
I don't know
And
that I could do that.
but you can get, but when you get in deep with some
Yeah,
of these
yeah, yeah,
games,
yeah. Yeah,
and
no
so
doubt.
but Lorcana is a good, like it's a good easy entry. You can get your feet in, play a couple
Yeah.
games. Yeah, Bob is starting to get into that theory craft where you're just thinking about the game all day, and
That's interesting. So,
yeah, it gets in your head.
Shannon DeWitt said that he just bought a starter deck, played 3 or 4 games last weekend. That's really cool. I'm actually going to see Shannon this weekend at Dyson Diversions. Another plug, DysonVersions.com this weekend in Atlanta. Be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway,
75% Johnny. I love it, Sean. That's awesome.
Sean, I'm like 75% Johnny. Every set I design will be an elaborate Rube Goldberg.
Oh man, the puzzles are the best part, and trying to
Yeah.
crack the puzzles, and yeah, CCGs have a life of their own, and
Yeah. It's a
it's
different
fun.
subset. It's just like when I walk in and see the 40K crew
For sure.
at our local game store. I don't get it. And
Yeah,
that's
it's not
fine.
your thing.
Like that's
Yeah.
not my thing. If I had an endless amount of money, it probably would be my thing.
Yeah.
But that's not me. I'd play that for 2 hours and then I'd be like, let's jump to something else. But
Yeah,
CCGs are definitely a different beast.
We got way off tangent. My favorite gaming memory of
There we go.
2023 was we got to play I got to introduce a lot of people to Blob Party for a game that was
Yes.
not really on anyone's radar, and I feel like I helped kind of punch it into the right
Yep.
hands that then punched it into more hands, and got it huge. And I'm excited that the game has done well. And teaching it to 30 plus people at Origins, and we were just kept playing it was one of my highlights. But probably my biggest one, Bob Party. I don't want to play that game.
I'm not playing Bob Party.
Probably my biggest highlight, honestly, was similar like what you said with your kid. My son Ethan always comes with me to Origins, and we do our game stuff, and he hangs out with his friends, and we hang out with all of our friends.
Yeah.
But this was the first year he went to Origins, he went to Gen Con, he went to PAX East and PAX West with me. We hit 4 cons
That's
together.
crazy.
And for me, the biggest one was Gen Con because we got to work together and I got to watch him take charge of tournaments and teaching and just like and own it and like just be like this great young leader who could step in and be like, yeah, I can
That's
teach
so
that.
cool.
Let me get that. And being able to hang out with our friends. And, he said recently that he just loves being able to hang out with our peer group, with my peer
Yeah.
group, with people that hang out with cons with and see like you just got all these cool friends,
Yeah.
from all over the world that,
Ethan's an awesome kid. I'm
yeah,
glad that he's enjoying these conventions like you enjoy them. So that's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. And I hope it's something we can always do together and, and be able to experience and have fun
Yep.
with. And, you hear you say we don't cry on podcasts, you get me all, I'm gonna get all
Getting all
emotional.
choked up.
But I love spending the time with them. And,
I got my tissues over here somewhere.
I'll just reach
Yeah,
through
yeah.
and
I'll just reach through. Yeah.
grab
So
some. Yeah.
anyway,
But yeah, those are some of my favorite 2023 memories, and that moves us into 2024. Like, what are you looking forward to the most in 2024?
yeah.
That's the
So
bomb.
Bob said, "Oh, I was going to throw in a question. I thought
Yeah,
this
yeah.
would. If me and you both do the BG stats stuff,
I was just thinking about that too.
yeah. So we all do we do the BG stats stuff. What surprised you about your stats at the end of the year?
I was actually after we finished this question, I was going to say, "Hey, did you keep tabs?" Yeah. So
Yeah.
I set two goals:
Okay.
play 100 new to me games
Okay.
and 650 games total.
Okay.
I just missed 650. I hit 640, but I'm certain most conventions I don't track
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. I don't party games. I don't show like Blob
Yeah,
Party. I played it 10 times over Christmas break, but I
yeah.
didn't track any
You
of it.
track a lot of them, but
Yeah.
not all of them.
So
Yeah. I think the thing that surprised me the most from my, as I'm looking at here, I usually get around 100, 105 new to me games. This year I had 124 new to me games.
okay.
Like, that's a lot. You really start thinking about that's like one new game to me every 2.5 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And like, that's a lot of games
It's a
that
lot of
you
games. Yeah.
take in, and, like, I feel like in the world we're in gaming, we consume a lot, and you start to get a real good handle on sometimes it takes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays of a game to
Mm.
say what you think, but you get a really good handle of first impressions of a game, almost to the point where we can look at a game and what it's trying to do and go, "Oh, that's gonna be good," or,
Yeah.
I don't know about that."
Yeah.
So, I was surprised I played as many new ones. That was my big
That's
surprise.
good. My surprise was the amount of time that I spent playing Crokinole. So we purchased a Crokinole board from Brown
Origins,
Castle
right?
Games at Origins.
Yeah.
Shout out Brown Castle Games. Their Crokinole boards are sick, so good. So we took this thing with us to my parents' house in Florida. We took it with us to Thanksgiving. We took it to Christmas with my in-laws. Crokinole is a big
Everywhere.
hit.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's funny because my brother and sister-in-law bought me a set of Crokinole discs that I wanted in black, and they didn't know what they were purchasing. But when I brought the board to Christmas, they said, "That's what we were buying, discs for that." And I said, "Yes, will you play?" And they fell in love with it. They were like, "So good."
Did they love it?
So yes,
That's
everybody we
awesome.
taught, we played till 1 o'clock in the morning with my brother-in-law and my nephews having tournaments. There's no such thing as too much time playing. Crokinole was like by far. I played a lot of Crokinole this year, and I only owned the board since July, so June,
Fair.
end of June. So
Yeah, there's a lot of good surprises. I think that's on my list of I think I'm gonna try and get one this next year. Is a good, like you said,
Brown
it's a good
Castle
take around.
Brown Castle will be back at Origins. I saw it this week that Brown Castle will be at Origins again.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to go over
I
there.
price of the board, quality of the
Solid.
board, just supporting them as a family. Yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, you have to remind me. I'll
Yeah.
probably pick it up there for sure. Yeah, those are probably my biggest surprises. But looking into 2024, what are you looking forward to in the gaming realm in 2024?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to first and foremost experiencing conventions again. I feel like convention time is growing. We're going to be going to a couple different ones. Gamma is possibly in our future.
Yeah.
There's that small possibility that we'll be able to go to Gamma. Dyson Diversions is a brand new convention in Atlanta that's this weekend. I am
Exciting.
very, very excited about that. Tantrum Con happens at the end of this month. Are you going to Tantrum Con?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. So
that's a permanent for me now.
Yes. Yeah. Tantrum Con is a must every year. So Tantrum Con, I'm really excited. This is going to be our 4th time at Tantrum Con. I'm really excited about that. I don't know, like I'm just excited about all the conventions. And then also we have invited in a new content contributor to One Board Family, Phil Moore, not the Phil Moore host of Nick Arcade from the 1990s. Although Phil Moore did meet Phil Moore, the host of Nick Arcade at Southern Fried Gaming Expo this summer. That's fantastic. But Phil has joined our channel and he's going to be writing. You're going to see him on some video content. You've already started seeing him on video content. Pretty good amount of time, which I'm excited about. So
not college football fans. I am a college football fan.
I saw that it's playing. I'm like,
I don't know who asked that. That's kind of funny. I actually have the game going in the background and I'll continue to watch it when we're done. But
Sean said that when moving from San Diego to Seattle, made sure the Crokinole board went into the car so it wouldn't get damaged. That's right. Put those, make those priorities, Sean. That's good.
Yep.
Bree says, Philception.
Phil on Phil.
That's true.
And they could meet at the Fillmore, which is a music venue in Detroit, and I think there's one out West Coast also.
I do have the picture of Phil meeting Phil. I'll pull it up.
Phil and Fillmore. Yeah, for me, 2024 game conventions, like you said, are things I still really value the time. Jason is football guy. yeah, I'll watch it, Jason. I'll get there. I'll get there. So yeah, spending the time at conventions, with the people I only get to see a couple times a year has a lot of value to me. Especially adding Tantrum Con in the mix has been a really good, like, just chill hangout convention. As much as I enjoy Origins and Gen Con, Tantrum, like I feel like those are the cons I'll transition more to, is like a BGG con or Tantrum Con, where we're just chill out, have food, and play games. That's what I'm excited about.
It's a different pace. Okay, so this is Phil Moore from Nick Arcade 1990s meeting Phil Moore, our content contributor who came on board with us. Of course, my screen got dark as soon as I showed it. So
that's hilarious. That's
Phil
awesome.
Moore meeting Phil Moore.
That's hilarious.
So that was a real funny moment. I was
mind blown. But yeah, doing that, we're gonna take a couple family trips. We have one planned this spring with Jason and his family, and with a couple other families where we're just gonna go hang out. We're just gonna play games. We're gonna hang out. We're just gonna live life together.
That's good,
right? Eat meals, and it's just fun to be able to do that stuff. And I'm officially done with school. For those that don't know, I've been in school for the last 2 years, getting my doctorate in physical therapy, and so now I feel like I'm shifting back into a little more gear of content than what I've done in the past. So I expect to be doing a little bit more with that as well. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming.
That's good
for sure.
Really good. So, all right, Doctor. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no one's.
Do we have to call you Doctor now?
Yeah. Ethan asked if he had to call me Dr. Dad, and I said no.
Dr. Dad.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So we are normally at this point we do the Game Chat Presents Pick 5.
Yeah.
Today though, we're doing the Game Chat Presents our top 10 of 2023 in a particular order.
That's right.
Yeah, normally it's not a particular order.
And this I did not want to do this, but I know that you're prepared. Sickness got to me. I wish my video was up, but it's okay. This makes for good content. So
yeah, it's fine. Your videos will be up soon enough.
It'll be up hopefully at the end of the week.
So let's start with 10, right? If you want to go first, I'll let you. Go
So
first here.
we've got Tales to Amaze, Unmatched Tales to Amaze. Unmatched isn't always on my top 10 list for each year, but this one deserves it because Tales to Amaze is a cooperative journey into Unmatched. And I think that for some people, this may be an entry point, especially somebody who is playing with kids or playing with teenagers who may not feel like doing the competitive thing. This is a really great entry point, and I think that there's going to be a group of people who start to notice Unmatched that maybe haven't in the past because of this box. And I really enjoy it. I think they did a great job with that. So
I've never heard of Unmatched. Is that a good?
it's an underground game that not a lot of people know about. There's only like 20 sets out there. Nobody really knows about it. Restoration Games is an up and coming game
Oh,
company
I'm
that
excited to.
may have made one or two titles in the past. You'll
I
hear of them soon.
I've wanted to try that, but you've always said no. I'm not going to show
Well,
you.
here's the thing. I feel like in 2.5 weeks we're going to be in the same place again,
So
and I
maybe
feel
maybe
like
you'll teach me.
I will
Finally.
bring it with me, and
Maybe
it's up to
finally.
you to say no. So.
We got these comments. I can't find them. I'm struggling to. So whoever you are, hey, didn't get to play many 2023 games. We've got some great games to recommend to you. So, I have
That's great.
my
Always
number
important
10.
to support indie games. Yes.
Yes.
Restoration
My number
Games, indie game company. So,
My number 10 is a game I got to demo
okay.
at Gen Con. And honestly, for a family level game, this is as cute as it comes. Robot Quest Arena from
Yeah.
Wise Wizard. This is a great program movement. It's combat, but it's not like, oh, you're out. Sorry, you get to do nothing while the rest of the family plays. There's a fun part of the combat. The robots are absolutely adorable in this thing,
Nice.
and they're
Yeah,
good size. They're
those
chunky.
miniatures are awesome.
Yeah, it's tech. The art's great in it. It sets up beautiful on the board. Highly recommend it. Derek and I are actually going to be at Tantrum Con running demos of this for anybody that wants to try it. So if
I'll
you're at
play it.
Tantrum Con,
I have actually not tried it at all.
yeah,
So,
we're gonna set up 2 tables. Him and I. We're gonna do like a couple hours every morning of like
okay.
come learn Robot Quest Arena, and he'll have the new one with all the expansions, and I'll probably be teaching the base version. And
Nice. I will
it's
join that. I
yeah,
will
it's a fun game.
find some time to play. Next up, number 9 on
Number
my
9.
list is Darwin's Journey. This is one of my most anticipated games from years ago, and it finally finally shipped to backers this year. Darwin's Journey is basically following the footsteps of Darwin as he as he explored the Galapagos Islands, as he categorized and brought in these different species, and basically you're submitting them to museums. This is the collector's edition. Really nice game, beautiful artwork. I love the style of the game, and it's one of the heavier games that I enjoyed this year. I have not gotten my copy to the table. Actually, I'm hoping over the next 2 weeks I will. But I've played it digitally multiple times, and I love that game. So
It's one I would definitely love to check out. I've heard nothing
yeah,
but amazing things from it. So
it's really good. So
number 9 for me is another giant box game. Hold on, I gotta bend down here to grab it. And this is from a small studio. His first game, Paverson Studios, Paverson Games. And that's
yep,
Distilled. Dave Beck.
Yeah.
Oh, get that reflection out there. Dave Beck designed a great true to distillery game where you feel like you're making different types of alcohol. You feel like you're putting together the work. Yeah, let's do that in the distillery.
Yeah.
There is a lot of true to distillation, I think distillation process aspects of this game that he gamified, that he turned into different cards. He turned into even something like when they make the alcohol, you have a devil's share that gets absorbed into the barrel. So there's this aspect of discarding cards that that piece is gone. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
and weird flavors that you could get, including like shoe is one of them, and
Hmm.
tobacco, and so it's a very very smooth styled game. Dave has another game coming this year called Luthier. That's going to be about
Yeah,
the construction and conduction of classic music.
nice,
And I got to preview that, take a look at it at PAX. It looks gorgeous.
very
I
cool,
expect him to be very, very true to the form with that as well. But Distilled is high on my
nice. That's
list of
awesome.
fun games.
Just the talking to Dave at the booth when he was going over the game and looking at it, it looks really awesome. So I've not played it myself, but I will, I'm sure.
For sure.
Next up, Halloween. Halloween turned 45 this year, and Trick or Treat Studios put out a board game on the original Halloween. This is a hidden movement game, a stalking game where Michael Myers is hunting down up to 3 teenagers who are trying to take care of and find the 2 kids that they're babysitting. This is a very, very good hidden movement game. It is some of Emerson Masucci's, like, he just does a great job with making it feel like you're being stalked and making it uneasy as you play the role of the teenagers in the original Halloween movie from 78. This is one of my favorite movies of all times, and it is one of my favorite games of this year.
And you felt like it stayed very true to the style of movie, right?
Yes, it did a great job with the setting. It did a great job of, like, when you go through the houses, you feel confined. You feel like at any moment anything could happen, and I fear my next turn. Like, it's wild. It's
I love it.
real solid.
And
So,
that's what he was going after, right?
yeah,
And Emerson is definitely a creator everybody loves to get a hold of his
yes.
games. We're at number
We got
8.
Panic Games, first board game I played with jump
Oh,
scares. So there's an aspect of the game that when Michael's turn comes around, there's 2 things. When Michael's turn comes around, you don't know where he is, and he would reveal himself if he's about to attack you. And you literally just, as Michael, you put your pawn on the board, and you're like, guess what? I was next to you the whole time. That is, like, nerve-wracking. And then when you turn your character and start walking, it's like, stop. That's where I'm at. And
I love it.
it's so good.
So my number 8, right? 10, 9. I'm working backwards on my list. Is was new to me at PAX. Was something I saw getting played and ignored, and then actually watched getting played and went, hold the phone, that's amazing, and went back to buy more copies of it, and they were sold out by Sunday morning. And that's Oink's new hit,
Okay.
Rafter 5.
heard
Have
about
you
that.
had a chance to play this yet with Bob?
No, Bob brought it over, showed me the components. I have not played it, though.
I cannot get people to stop playing or requesting this, regardless of age, regardless of interest in board games. They see this. I mean, the box is literally
It's an
like
old
it stacks.
game, yeah.
It stacks like that, and you got these guys on there that you're trying to balance this out. It is
Yeah.
tense. It's tense. I don't know how else to say it. It's a dexterity game in the size of your pocket that plays really, really well. Probably. Gosh, I love Scout, but probably my favorite Oink game. If I was
Nice.
ranking them, this would probably just edge Scout out at like 1A, 1B.
Okay. I definitely want to play that with you at Tantrum.
It is 100% one will be I expect to see a lot. And any game that comes off the table gets people's eyes.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And so this one does that. And I think it'll be available in the spring, I think is when they expect it to be
Okay.
like US available. But yeah, Rafter 5 is a solid 8 for me.
That's cool. Awesome. Next up on my list at number 7 is Splitto. Splitto is a fantastic card game that plays up to 8 players. It plays quickly, 13 cards, drafting from people's hands, putting it on the table. It is a lot of fun. It's a game that we've taught a lot of times. It's a game that I made an instructional video for. I love Splitto, and Splitto comes with us everywhere. If we're expecting to be at somebody's house, Splitto is going in the bag. And so it's such an easy teach. I taught it at I taught it at Origins probably 6 or 7 times this past summer. It was really a really big hit. So,
and a very popular game for anybody that plays it, right? Anybody that has. Have you tried it at 2 yet?
I have not. I'm not even going to try. There are some games that I will not acknowledge that it says 2 on the box, and this is one of the games.
I'd be interested to try it if somebody was like, "Hey, let's give it a quick try and see."
But I will say,
how it plays.
I will say that I was surprised because Scout at 2 players is a slightly different game. The objective's different, and I actually like Scout at 2 players, which surprised me. I gave it a chance. I don't think I'll give Splitto a chance at 2. So.
That's fair. The first time I played Skull King, I played it at 2 and was disappointed, and then realized, oh, I messed this up.
Yeah.
Splitto is fantastic. Yeah, like Between Two Cities. Thank you, Facebook user. I was like scouring the different places I posted. I can't find where that Facebook user is. But whoever you are, Facebook user
somewhere.
Yeah, we also look forward to seeing you at TantrumCon, whoever you are. So we are at number 7. Number 7 for me is the game I was just talking about was high on my list of 2023, and my second favorite party game right now, behind what will probably perennially be my favorite, is Green Team to teach at any particular group, and that's Blob Party from WizKids by Pam Walls. Blob Party is a blast. It is a blast to play at this count. It's even more fun to play with a huge group. Blob Party is the party game you need if you haven't gotten it yet. Highly recommend it. I know was sold out at the end of the year. I think they were getting some more going here in the near future. So hey, Ruel. Hey, there we go.
Ruel, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys.
So Blob Party, I picked up a copy of Blob Party right before Christmas, just because we had multiple Christmas events and going to people's houses. We got invited to a friend's house that they've got a larger family. We brought it over there, and I was like, hey, let's throw this out there. Let's see if you guys like it. They immediately jumped online. They were like, where can I get this? Where can I get this?
Yeah, it's so good. Such a great game, and highly I think it's my highest rated party game this year.
Are you going to TantrumCon? That is a good question. Number six is Sea Salt and Paper. This little card game gets a lot of play in our house. It's because of the end of round mechanic, being able to catch your opponent off guard and getting them to lose all the points that they were hoping to have. This is such a fun game. I love the art style. I hate the choice of card stock, but I love the art style. I love the gameplay, and I love that you can one up your opponents by calling last chance at just the right time.
So question on Sea Salt and Paper.
Yes.
Have you ever gotten the 4 mermaids?
No, but a friend of ours did, and it was funny because we are teaching them how to play, and we were sitting there telling them how to play, and I said, just a heads up, 4 mermaids, blah, 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 wins automatically. That I've played this game 25 times, and it hasn't happened. 3 minutes later. She was like, what if I get 4 mermaids? I was like, well, you would just say, hey, I won, guys. And she was like, okay, well, I won. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We actually, Becky and Jason taught us. I've played Sea Salt and Paper, but I hadn't taught my wife yet. And so they brought it over, taught my wife. I think she really enjoyed it. It's aesthetically a beautiful game, right? Just something that's so different from what you're used to, and they had a really good time with it. Yeah, shout out to Ruel. Absolutely. I do love a good Ruel podcast as well.
Awesome. So
did you know that I did a recording for a podcast that's never come out?
I've never heard that before. You know what? I almost wanted to do It's a Christmas Miracle situation, and I was going to edit that podcast a couple weeks ago and publish it on Christmas Eve, and then I forgot about it, and then it became New Year's.
That's okay. I blame Rick,
it's
so it's fine.
So,
yeah, hopefully
even though it's purely 100% on me. Whatever.
So my number 6, we're up to now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
My number 6 is from Weird City Games. I have games everywhere, all over the place.
They're
I know.
everywhere. They are everywhere.
Leaf. Leaf from Weird City Games. I love the Eisner brothers.
Really good.
I love Tim. I have had a chance to talk to Tim at cons. He is one of the coolest, down to earth guys.
Tim was on the show.
Yep. We had him on
last year.
When they did the 2-player game.
Canopy.
Yeah. And Tim is one of the coolest, chillest, like down to earth guys you'll ever talk to. And this is the first year I saw him at a booth, and they were at a booth at PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
And him and his brother Ben was there, and I've never met Ben. And I came up to him, I chatted with him, told him I appreciate his stuff and just really like their attitude. And they were just slinging games. They were teaching this in Canopy, and people were just eating it up.
Leaf is real good.
It is. My wife loves this game, like loves this game, and this has gotten a lot of play in our house. And yeah, to Wonderland's Wars are good. I actually told Ben, I said, you're not gonna believe this, but I have just about every game that WizKids ever made, and there is an old game called Dungeon Party. I'm sorry, Dungeon Hustle, that the Eisner brothers made. It's one of their first games.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have that? I'm like, oh, I have it. I was like, I have it, and it's in my collection still, because it was like, it's like having like the B-sides to a designer, right? Oh yeah, I got Greatest Hits. I got Wonderland's War over here. I got Leaf, but let me show you Dungeon Hustle. Let me show you some of these other games. Let me show you Palm Trees.
Well, that's how I feel every time I introduce Ladder 29. I'm like, all right, this is a riddle and pinchback joint. Let's get this to the table. And they're just like, oh, I didn't know about this one. Ladder 29. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to have those gems you can show people.
Next up, number 5. Number 5 is The Great Split. It is the first game that entered my top 10 list last January, and it has stayed the test of the entire year. The Great Split is where it's a I split, you choose situation. You're Ocean's 11 style, ripping off some rich people, and you're passing around these envelopes. Have you played The Great Split?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I love The Great Split. It is one of my favorite I split you choose games, and the minimalist style of the boards, along with Weberson Santiago's artwork, which is I'm to the point now, if Weberson does anything in a board game, I'm like, I have to own that. I just need to own a stack of Weberson artwork board games. So The Great Split, fantastic.
Yeah, like Bob said there, it plays smoothly with a big group.
Oh yeah. I've taught it at 3 players, and I've taught it at 7 players, and it plays almost the exact same amount of time.
Yeah, no, it's super smooth like that. My number 5 is similar to Great Split, a game you can play on BGA and kind of get the rhythm of. And I first learned this on BGA, and I didn't realize it was a brand new game when we played it. And that is Upside Down. Roll to the Top.
Roll to the Top.
Roll to the Top by All Play. This is the roll and write game for me. I love that they're dry erase boards. I've got the expansion here, so there's like 12 different maps.
Yeah.
Everyone who plays this gives it that was a lot of fun. Is there another you said there's more maps? I'm like, let me show you, because we can add and subtract numbers, and we can go crazy ways. This game plays again a big group, right? It'll play a good size. I mean, heck, you could play with 30 people with this if you had enough copies of it. Yeah, absolutely. Smiths know what's up. Family Gamers know what's up.
Family Gamers.
Yeah, it's a solid game, and one that All Play continues to just rock out hits.
Absolutely.
And Roll the Top is very, very much in a high game for me. So it hit number 5.
Yep. Very cool. All Play has a game that is on our 24 most anticipated list from Matt Riddle, Ben Pitchback. So you can look over One Board Family for that. Next up, we have The Art Project. This is probably my favorite co-op game right now. It is such a fun mission-oriented game where players are trying to discuss without giving away too much detail, and they're sitting there saying, okay, how can we make this happen? How can we get that piece of stolen artwork back into our hands? How can we do it without getting overrun by the enemy? This one's a lot of fun. And the fact that there are 6 different maps in this box keeps this game on the table over and over and over. It's like if you've played it a bunch, just change out the map.
Straight up.
It's gonna make for a different game. The art project is one of my favorite games of this year, and it's a game that even my non-co-op hating wife loves. So
Yeah, my wife's not a big co-op fan either, but that is one I've been trying to get to the table honestly for like the last month
really,
with different groups because honestly, to be completely frank, I don't have a lot of people that love co-ops that I
and
play with. So
yeah, and that's the thing. And so Shannon, I'm gonna bring the art project with me this weekend, and if you get some downtime, I would love to jump into this. So yeah. All
that was a
right.
big comment, Shannon.
What is this?
It looks like he was given the synopsis of Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh, that's funny.
Uh,
I think you pasted this into the chat. That's
to
great.
to be to sidebar, um, Werewords that I finally got to play this year
Werewolves is so
at
good.
PAX. I was like, and there's a lot of us that hadn't played Werewords, and we were like, "What? Why is this so
So
good?"
good.
And again, another one I had to pick up, and we've had a lot of fun playing with a bunch of different groups. Great game that is
Yes. Yes.
highly underrated because I don't think it's the love talk that it deserves.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is we're moving into probably I'd say top 3, top 4 companies for me, and that's Devere. Devere just continues to be
Devere.
ridiculous,
Oh,
right? And that is Jerusalem with an I.
Jerusalem. That's my 11-12 scenario. It was on my list, and I'm like, and I don't know. I really
Yeah,
struggled. There were 3 games that I struggled with
with where to
not
put it.
having on my list.
Yeah, I had 2 that were it's my top 12, top
Yeah,
10
you
games
just
of
cheated.
2023. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care, right?
Yeah.
It's all a game.
I gotta
Um,
follow the rules, man.
but Jerusalem does what to me no other game has done well, and that's tell a story about Jesus that is authentic
Yeah.
and smooth and strategic
Yeah.
and doesn't feel pandering, doesn't
100%.
feel aggressive, and doesn't feel like you're trying to just like, "Oh, I just want somebody to play this because I want them to learn more about Jesus." I'd love for that to happen if you play this,
Yeah.
but it tells a story that's smooth and just moves around well and honors the source material, right, very very well. So
1 second. I'm losing
yeah.
power for some
Uh-oh.
reason.
Uh-oh.
I've got to find my laptop charger.
Do
One
it.
second.
I'll talk about my 11 and 12 game. So Jerusalem is my 4 drop while Ryan is trying to figure out power. My 11 and 12, actually my 12 I can talk about because my 11 is his number 1, but my 12 was Raw, and Raw was really close to the top 10 for me. Raw I pulled back off of the list mainly because it's not necessarily a new game, even though it's new art, it's new style, it works super well for the mechanic of the games. But if you've played Raw, if you haven't had a chance to play Raw, I highly recommend it. It is a super smooth game where you're trying to set collect. There's a little bit of back and forth bidding. And if you get a chance to grab Chad's 25th Century Edition, especially the deluxe version, that thing is pimped out to the tees. It is great material, great setup. And yeah, Bob said I can't put Bob's comment up. He said he has every version. There have been many versions for many years of Raw, including, I think, a dice game version at some point that people were really excited about as well. So, all right, while we're waiting for Ryan, I should just bump Bob in here and then we'd be all set. But I did Jerusalem was my 4. He did his 4. Oh, there we go. He's back. Maybe he's back. Maybe he's there. Well, that was
Mute.
perfect.
Sorry.
I talked about my number 12 My
Yeah,
number 11, I didn't talk about because it's your number one,
yeah.
so I left
So
that one.
Raw was your number 12, right?
Yeah, and then
So
my
Raw sitting right back here. That I taught that one yesterday. It's such a good game. So good.
yeah,
So
love it, love it, love it.
yeah. All
We're
right.
up to top three.
Top three. Rolling Heights from AEG. Rolling Heights is a phenomenal city building game. City building is my weakness. That is the theme that I love the most. And this one has these little Lego pieces that you're building up and building these towers. You're using resources and you're throwing meeples into a box and hoping they work hard for you. It's very interesting. Phil and myself talked about the why throwing meeples is so different than throwing dice. Throwing dice, there is a definite percentage that goes with
Yeah,
that. There's a thing that you're working, a set of odds that you're working toward. Um, Throwing meeples, percentages, it's thrown out the window.
there's
A
more
meeple
validity,
can, yeah, a
right?
meeple can land whatever the freaking way it wants to land, and it can, it
It's like the pig game. Toss the pigs.
exactly. It's ridiculous. And so throwing meeples is just so obscure. It's not a gimmick. It's actually fun.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy Rolling Heights. Yeah, John D. Clare. I'm in. Bree's got it right. So,
We're in this top three. That was Ryan's number three. My number three from a smaller company. This is, I believe, their own. I'm probably wrong, but it's the only game I know of from them, from Inside Up Games. That's Earth. They probably have other games.
I think they have another game.
I'm not sure if I'm being honest, but Earth was one that at Origins, I think Bob, Tony, some other guys were talking about, and they're like, it plays really similar to Arc Nova. And I was like, well, I really like Arc Nova. I don't need
Yeah.
another version of Arc Nova. And then I played it and I was like, oh, shoot, this is
Good.
faster, smoother, and takes about half the time. And Block and Key, that's right. I have Block and Key.
Yeah, Block and Key, City Builder.
Yeah. Yeah. So
some
they've got
of-
a few. Yeah. So it's, they all, yeah, some of these run together for me. And Glorious Maximus, and then they have the kids version of that. It's like a fish one. So okay, so I stand corrected. Inside Up, definitely not their first, but probably their biggest hit.
Yeah, it's a big hit. It's on
Is
a
there-
couple top tens this year.
It is the terminology we started talking about with this year was that it's a fun per minute. Arc Nova is a ton of fun, but the time is so long to play that.
Yes.
This is a better fun per minute time frame
That's
because
true.
it doesn't take quite as long to play, but you feel like you get some of the same feels of give me a bunch of cards, let me play them out and see how it rolls out. And
Yeah.
Earth is one that plays super smooth, and it hits a really unique spot for me, and that it plays up to 5. And we
Yep.
have a Thursday night group where there's like 3 to 6 of us,
Yeah.
and when we get in the 5 spot, we're usually trying to still play a game together, and Earth plays 5 perfectly.
Yep. That's good. Bob's right. I love the giant card gameplay. Ares Expedition, one of my favorites. Arc Nova, Earth, now Far Shuffle. Far Shuffle, hopefully I'll have it this weekend. Be bringing it to Dyson Versions this weekend. So
Wonderful World, tons of cards.
So yes, A Wonderful World. Taught that to somebody last week. They loved it. Life of the Amazonia. If you don't know about Life of the Amazonia, you need to. Bad Comet Games. This is a phenomenal game. This is the game that I enjoy playing more than Arc Nova. And the reason why is because of the tactile nature of this bag builder. You're pulling resources out of a bag. You're using the resources to grow you're growing your ecosystem. You're getting a giant otter and a leopard, and you're a jaguar.
Jaguar.
But the game is so much fun. It's I don't know. This is one of my favorite bag builders, and it is. We've played this game a lot at 2 players. It's quick, poppy, plays really well. At 4 players, it takes a little longer, but it's 100% worth the time investment. So,
we haven't done a bag builder
Like favorite
game.
bag
Like
builder.
yeah, have we? Is there enough in that
I think
genre
so.
that we could do that?
I think so.
There's,
There's quite a few bag builders now.
yeah, I'm gonna add it to my list.
Yeah, add it to our list of possible. Yeah,
Possible thematics. We are at number
number two.
two. Number two and number one for me. Like number two was my number one up until the last 2 months of the year.
Okay.
And then number one just flew up. Like you could see it like just working. I was like, this could be like top 5 for me.
Yeah.
This is top 3. Oh shoot, is this my number one game of the year? But there's no reason to say that this is still not one of my favorite games. And that's Barcelona from Board and Dice. This is everything I personally love in a game. It is pingy. It's action to action to action to action to action. It is points. Here's how you know how many. There is tokens. There's 100 around the board, and then the plus 100 plus however many tokens. It goes up to plus 500 worth of point tokens in this game. So it's expecting you to score at max 500 plus points, right? There is a ton going on in this game, but it has one of my favorite mechanics of recent play that started with Nova Roma, and I'm sure other games do it, but Nova Roma's really stood out for me, where there's a row and a column.
Yeah.
And this has placement where you place your thing, you take the action from the column, the action in the row. And part of it is, well, I want that action column, but also part of it is, where do I want to build? And there's this push and pull of like, is that my right spot for the build, or is that my right spot for the actions? Yeah. And man, I taught it to Bob and Derek. Unfortunately, I taught it at PAX amongst like the chaos of PAX. And it was a lot, I think, for that environment for them to take in. But Barcelona, Board and Dice just delivers. They're delivers. And Barcelona is it's such a good game.
Nice. That's really cool. All right, last one, number one on my list. This is the game that I bought twice this year because buying it once wasn't enough. This is Thunder Road Vendetta. Thunder Road Vendetta. I purchased it through the Kickstarter once again from that little indie game company, Restoration Games. They'll get there one day. Restoration Games brought back Thunder Road Vendetta. Thunder Road was an 80s game that I remember seeing on store shelves. This thing weighs 100 pounds. Seeing in store shelves and never being able to play it as a kid. And then when Thunder Road Vendetta, Mad Max Fury Road is one of my all-time favorite films. And Thunder Road Vendetta captures the feel of that Mad Max dystopian car combat that I love. The reason why I play Twisted Metal still, the reason why I loved Vigilante 8 on PlayStation, the reason why I love Mad Max car combat. And this thing is ridiculous. It's absurd. It's random. It will have you screaming at the top of your lungs, and it will have you cheering by the end of the session. We play the Mad Max Fury Road, what do you call it? Soundtrack while we play through speakers on both sides of the game room, and we play that thing until people are like pounding the table. It's fun.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was in my top 12 of this year. I've leaned into the chaos playing it.
It's hard because it's very random. You can get destroyed.
Yeah, I've yet to win it. I've probably played it a dozen times, haven't won it once.
Yeah.
But it is very much a like, oh, okay, it's round 2 and I have 1 car left. Okay. Yeah, sure, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But I love the anticipation. There's that like, I'm gonna push through that road tile and flip it over, and it's an oil spill, or nope, it's regular road. I'm sailing into the wind. Like it's a great game. And Bob and I had a chance at PAX to demo the new expansion coming.
Nice.
So
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, they got some fun stuff coming from that little indie group over at Restoration.
If you want to learn Thunder Road Vendetta and you're going to be at Dyson Diversions this week in Atlanta, another plug for Dyson Diversions, I'm going to be teaching Friday night. Sign up for Thunder Road Vendetta teaching session, learn to play. I'll be doing
awesome. Another one that plays well with is it 4 or is it 5?
It plays 5 with
Plays 5.
the big box.
That's right.
So,
And one more great with 5 game. My number one game is a game that Bob taught me at PAX. I was ready and willing to learn, had already ordered it, already had it ready to go, and have played it. Have not played the solo game. I don't play solo games if I'm being honest.
yeah.
But this is one that's tempting to me. But I played it 2, 3, 4, and 5. Love it at every count. This is Stonemeyer's most recent hit, Apiary, the bees of the future game. Apiary,
Space Bees.
yeah, Space Bees. Apiary is a great action selection.
Really good.
The way the bees roll, and they look like dice, but they're not dice. They work like Teotihuacan dice in that they evolve, and then they eventually get too big, and they got to go into hibernation. You restart your bee count. Every time we've played this, there's been a different mechanic, a different wave, a different like attempt at like, oh, I'll try doing this, or I'll try doing this mechanic with it. So we've had a lot of fun exploring Apiary, and I can't wait to teach some more people this one.
Yeah.
Dragonary. Yeah,
So
maybe.
Good question.
Wormiary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years from now, you never know.
Yeah. You never know. So the designer of Apiary is the designer of Wormspan. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that's our top 10. What hit your guys' list? What'd you like? What you enjoyed? We'd love to hear what you got. Oh, there we go. We got one right there. Jason's got his top 10 that he's sharing with us there.
Yeah, I got a top 10 on the screen. Roll to the top. Dice Veggies, so good. Point City, excellent. Thunder Road Vendetta, Blob Party, Expeditions I got for Christmas. Shout out to my wife for giving me great gifts. Barcelona, Distilled, Apiary, and Earth at number 1.
Expeditions is good. Jason and Becky taught us that one. I really enjoyed it.
Beepiary.
Or Breepiary, maybe.
A Bree Goldman game.
Have we had Bree on? We need to have her on.
Bree, would you like to be on the show?
Yeah, we usually have a guest, but we were,
Bree, would you like to be on our show? Check yes or no.
Yeah, check this box here.
Or maybe.
Or maybe's fine.
So maybe's fine.
So to finish up, as always,
that's how we ask people.
Yeah,
if they slide in here to the comments, we just ask them.
So got him. All right, we'll talk to you. Ryan, I'll send you a message.
Let's do it.
We'll get it figured
out. Let's have Bree on. That would be awesome.
What to see what type of game she wants to talk about. We usually have something thematic.
Absolutely.
Maybe B games.
The B games, all bees, all the time. So let's. So what we've been playing, interesting development in this one.
Yes.
Brothers in Games. I don't know. They're in the Netherlands, I believe.
Okay.
This game is called Slava. It is a trick-taking war game. It is, first of all, this is a prototype. Shout out to that sweet box. Very nice. For nice. A prototype, this is a sweet, nasty box.
Yeah.
And then shout out to this card, these giant matte finish cards with great color. It looks like a 1990s G.I. Joe explosion.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
It's real nice. It's
I like that.
I don't know. We played it yesterday and I have thought about it 10 times today about how I want to play it again. It's really good. And so we're going to be doing some preview work for this one.
Nice.
It's a war trick-taking game, and I did not know that I wanted this so badly.
That's awesome. So that's your current playing. Mine arrived recently. As we get Bob on the show there for a minute.
There we go. Bob's face.
Mine arrived recently in a box of goodies from our friends over at Pencil First Games.
Oh, nice.
And designer Ed Edo. First off, they have a Kickstarter coming in the beginning of February, and they've got 3 things coming. One of them is a new solo game, Snowfall Over the Mountains.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's a little bit like their Sunset game price style. So again, not usually solo player, but I'm gonna take a look at this, get a little content out on that. Next is a game my family and my wife especially really enjoys, Floriferous, but this is
I
the
love
pocket edition of
Floriferous.
Floriferous. Yeah, I mean that's great. Like Floriferous is already small, but this is
Yeah.
like this is tiny. This is handheld. This is like
Floriferous is
for
one of my
comparison.
favorite purchases for my wife. I bought it for her for Christmas one year, and she loved it so much. We played it for like 6 months. It was so good.
That's Jimmy. I finally found the chat.
There we go.
That's Jimmy Hudson giving a
Nice.
comment. Sorry, Jimmy, that you got to buy all the games.
I know.
Do
We
it
should
again
just be
for you.
dropping links. You know?
The third one, and the one I've played a few times now. We played it 4, we played it 2. Really enjoyed it. This is like, if you like pencil first style games, you're gonna love this one. It fits their style. It's Sunrise at the Studio. It's a
Okay.
clay pot making game. It plays
Ooh.
in a similar style to their games where it's quick. It's 3
Yeah.
rounds. It probably
Yeah.
takes about 20 minutes to play. The art is beautiful on it. You have 3 days that you're playing and making these different creations, similar to
I like
Floriferous.
pottery. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cool. I'm
I'll
digging it.
bring it. I'll have it at
Okay.
the end of the
Yeah, I
month.
want to play
So
that. Okay.
yeah, but it's smooth, and I Pencil First Games, just they found a good niche of the type of games they make,
Yep.
and they do well.
Yep.
So
Yep. Really good. That's awesome. So very cool. Well, let's end this thing. Where can people find you?
oh, you
And
can find us on
yeah.
the Instagram, on the X, aka Twitter, on Facebook, and we got to update that. TikTok
Yeah.
is
I'll
our
put that.
one of our biggest platforms. That's where you can find our top 12, top 10 games of 2023. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to finish editing a video that features Ryan, has Bob in it, and has 19, I think 18 or 19 different content creators
Nice.
on TikTok doing a "we're board gamers" type of thing,
Yeah.
as the TikTok trends hit. So we've got some fun ones on there.
I'm excited about seeing how that turned out.
Yeah. I'm gonna dropping it literally as soon as we're done here. So
Very cool. Stay tuned on TikTok.
where do we find you?
Head over to oneboardfamily.com. You can find us on all the social networks at One Board Family. We have a couple initiatives this year. We don't talk about it barely at all, but we have a Patreon. If Patreon is your thing, we actually have some pretty nice exclusive content that is only going to be available through our Patreon moving forward, starting last week. And then I have my full review of the game Jock Mock from WizKids going up tomorrow morning. It's about a winter market, a famous winter market. It is a really fun game, and it's really solid for anybody looking for a good set collection game to add to their game shelf. So
it's awesome. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking game. I'm on your Patreon. I got that video.
Yes. So I appreciate your help. So
yeah, it's fun stuff. So that's what we do. Support each other. We do fun stuff. I look forward to seeing you at the end of the month. We'll have one more of these probably before then.
Yeah.
Maybe with Bree, maybe with somebody else. We'll see how schedules lined up.
That'll be awesome.
But yeah, it's been a fun start to the year. So here's to doing this for another year, 2024. This was what episode number?
Episode 60. This is 60 episodes.
That's awesome.
We started this because of the pandemic. I was like, hey, we've got 2 small audiences of people who love board games. Let's join forces for a show. Yeah. And I'm so glad you didn't think I was some weirdo. So.
I will not comment on that, but I've had fun doing this regardless.
You do think I'm great. Excellent. Thanks so much, Isaac. And
thank you guys for joining us.
See you guys later. And join us at Tantrum Con if you can.
Yes.
End of the month. Come see us, hang out, play some games. See ya.